Hey, what is up, Spiritual Hooligan? You know you're a spiritual hooligan when you're extremely curious. When you give up your arrogance and you let go of this idea that you already know. That is what makes you a spiritual hooligan. My name is Matthew Ferry, and I am bringing you your daily enlightenment. It's your moment to pause, to slow down, to get connected to enlightened perspectives. I want to help you to quiet your mind and restore your peace. I'm on a little rampage right now about what it means to be a spiritual hooligan. And so many people come to me and they say, Matthew, isn't that a negative term? And yeah, it actually is if you look out into the world, most people wouldn't want to be a hooligan, but a spiritual hooligan is someone who is essentially breaking the rules and tearing down the old spiritual norms so that they can be completely and totally free. So you know you're a spiritual hooligan when you are extremely curious, when you are willing to release your arrogance. That is a hooligan. Because arrogance, pretension, pretending like you know, trying to be smart, trying to be better than people, trying to be the one, that's normal survival mind. The spiritual hooligan is willing to be the one who doesn't know, because the spiritual hooligan is the person who recognizes. The survival mind pretends to know everything to create the illusion of safety. The spiritual hooligan knows that they're infinite. And by the way, that is very rambunctious. To relate to yourself as infinite means that you are not attached. When you're not attached, people freak out because they want you to take a position, take a side, take a stand for something. Don't you understand? We need to make sure that A, B, and C don't happen. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen, right? Though that kind of idea set comes from people who are in a survival mindset. You realize that you don't know anything unless you've been told it or you observed it. And there's a problem with both of those things, because what you were told was biased through someone else's perception. My kids are learning history in school, and I laugh because the history that they are learning is the history based on the location that they're in, not the history for everybody. Because if you're on the wrong side of the win-lose equation in a war, for example, the history gets told one way or another, depending on where you are. What you observe is biased based on your perceptions. You don't know. All you know is what you interpret. Now, science is doing a bang-up job of creating replicatable results. And it's important, I think, to acknowledge and honor what can be replicated. But you and I are not dealing with that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about curiosity in the situation. We're talking about you walking into the situation and being blindsided because you had all these expectations that weren't real, and the situation did not live up to the expectations. You walk in and you expect your family to be peaceful and joyous and happy and harmonious like you, and frankly, they don't give a shit about that. They want to be arrogant and pompous and be right and prove that they're somebody, right? And boom, there's a clash that happens. As a spiritual hooligan, what you do is, instead of having a position, you ask questions. Instead of taking a stand for something, you are willing to look at everybody's perspective on it. You're open, you're curious. You push yourself to ask questions. You seek to understand. You don't deny differences. You don't deny other people's opinions. You don't shut people down and their conclusions just because it contradicts your point of view. If you do that, you create conflict for yourself and you put yourself into a survival situation. Why are you a spiritual hooligan? Because you're a disruptor to survival. Peace disrupts the survival continuity. Joy disrupts the arrogance and the love of being right, the love of dominating others, the high that happens when you're able to dominate people with your arrogance and your knowledge and your understanding, and I'm better than you and I know. So your curiosity is very hooligan-esque. Spiritual hooligan. So let me ask you a question. What is one area in your life that you are going to get more curious about? You're going to stop being so arrogant. You're going to start answering questions or asking questions. You're going to stop pretending like you know everything. Is it with a person? Is it in a situation? Is it work? Is it at home? Where are you going to apply this today? I want to know. Leave me a comment, will you please? My name is Matthew Ferry, and I'm the author of Quiet Mind, Epic Life. I would love it if you would like this video, if you would leave me a comment, if you would please share this with the people that are important to you in your life, that are in this conversation with you. You can also subscribe to my channel. I put out a new daily enlightenment every single day, and you can track us down on Facebook. We have a thriving group there called Spiritual Hooligans. Come join us, join the conversation. Thank you so much for tuning into this daily enlightenment.